get a fair view. The place where you listen to get the whole truth. The place where you listen to get a fair view. This is Great Talk.
Good evening, good evening.
Great Talk. This is Great Talk. This
Good evening,
is
good evening,
Great
good
Talk.
Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Greg Talk. I think I'll do that intro one more time. Welcome. Good evening. Welcome to Greg Talk. Welcome to Greg Talk.
The place where you listen to get the whole truth. The place where you listen to get a fair view. The place where you listen to get the whole truth.
Yeah. Good evening.
This is Great Talk. This is Great Talk.
Yeah. Welcome to Greg Talk. Welcome to Greg Talk. Wow. Yes. Hey, I'm excited to have you join me this evening. Yes, I'm excited to have you join me this evening. Today, I'm going to deal with an issue. I was supposed to have a guest this evening, this show going maybe a little bit short because I got another meeting. I'm a virtual meeting that I need to be at as well. With that being said, it may be a little bit shorter than the norm, but I want to talk about issues with AT&T. I know I'm not the only somebody who have had issues with AT&T. And I wanted to throw this song on you too, because sometimes when we're dealing with conglomerate giants, we just need peace of mind. We just need peace of mind. So sit back, go ahead and start your watch party. Invite people. Yeah. Go ahead and start your watch party. And invite some people in. Yes. Come on, invite some people in. Peace of mind. We just need some peace of mind sometimes. Yes. Sometimes we just need peace of mind. My God. So I can have. Sometimes you want to get them peace of your mind so you can have peace of mind. Yeah. My God. Elmo and Soul. Kingdom Works, peace of mind. Hey, Barbie Doll Rice. Hey, Clarks. Hey, Clark. Hey, I got some people on my watch party. I got Dr. Shell, Gina Sullivan, Sandy Woods, Mark Bullock. Bless y'all. Mobility Maiden. Yeah. Tamara Overton. Glad to have y'all join me. Want to talk about this. I want to talk to you. Yeah. And I want you to talk to me. Absolutely. Peace of mind. Peace of mind. Yeah. Hey, Shaquilla Galloway. Yeah. I just want to share a little bit of that with you. But I want to talk to you this evening. I want you to talk to me because I know I'm not the only somebody who have had issues with conglomerate giants. Yes, I know I'm not the only person that has had issues with conglomerate giants, and we know that AT&T is one of the conglomerate giants of the world that we live in today. But we have some issues, and sometimes the conglomerate giants have the same mentality as Goliath had when he was dealing with David. But I hear Pastor Donald Lawrence in this song, he said, "Giants do fall." So sometimes we can't just take stuff sitting down, laying down, and just watch it happen and let it happen to us and think that there's nothing we can do. But I believe that sometimes we just have to give them peace of our mind and let them know that, hey, you can't just treat me this way because I am a paying customer. Yeah, so we have to make sure that we be able to do that. So I want to talk to you. I want you to talk to me. I just want to tell you my story. But let me first tell you a little bit about AT&T. AT&T, as I stated earlier, is America multinational conglomerate holding company. Yes, it's huge. In fact, it is probably the largest provider of telephone services in the world. So that's AT&T was founded. Exactly. Alexander Graham Bell founded the telephone in 1877, 75, 76, 77, somewhere there about and it was founded as a Southwestern Bell company. That's how AT&T began its history, as a Southwestern Bell company. They later became American Telephone and Telegraph Company. That's what the abbreviation AT&T stands for. American Telephone and Telegraph Company. Because see, back in the day, before there was telephones, they sent telegraphs. Yes, yes. Oh yeah, yeah. Before they had the little thing where they just tap, send a telegraph, whatever. Even it's using Morse code, sending that telegraph, but so then the telephone came about, and so they were used as a telephone company as well as a telegraph company, to sending messages. But so it began to grow and grow and grow, and things changed, and a lot of things changes. There was different lawsuits and whatnot that kind of caused companies to separate and things as of such. But we know AT&T as it is today. And I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna ask this question to you: Is there anybody that I'm talking to still using AT&T? Or have you ever used AT&T in the past? And the question that I want to ask you: Have you had any trouble with them? Okay, question. That's number one. Question number one: Have you had any trouble with them? Question number two. When you call, how difficult is it for you to get a live person on the line? So I want you to go ahead and answer those questions. I know somebody may have a watch party going, so I may not see some of your answers, but I can see on live if you answer, and I can also see on my watch party as well that if you answer those questions. Are you still an AT&T customer? Have you had AT&T in the past? And have you had any trouble with AT&T? And the third question again is when you make a phone call, when you call them, how difficult is it for you to get a live person on the line? My. So now, Okay. I see you, Augusta. Yes, you're new to them now. All right. Let me tell you this, Augusta, from my personal experience. Number one, keep your eyes on your bill. Pay attention to your charges, because there's a possibility that you will see some things on your bill that some services that you're being charged for that you don't even use or don't even have. So I want you to make sure that you pay close attention to that, Augusta. Pay close attention. Watch your bill, because in my personal experience, there were things that I had been charged for, and services that I had been charged for that I was not even didn't even have. So make sure you pay attention to things like that. Now, if you have what they call the bundle, the bundle plan, make sure you're paying attention to that stuff very closely, because you will be getting ripped off monthly and you don't even know it, because you're not really paying attention to what they charge. So make sure that you go down that list of those itemized charges and make sure that they are legitimate. Yeah, let me say it again. Make sure that you go down that list of itemized charges and make sure to see if they are legitimate. Now, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. I won't tell you actually what happened in my case, and what happened with me in AT&T and my family, should I say, my entire family, because personally, I ditched AT&T a long time ago. Yes. Now, if you saw, I don't know how many of you may have seen the clip that I put out a little while ago, with the video clip that I put out a while ago that's on YouTube. If you have not seen it, definitely I want you to take a look at that, because it shows me and my family, but it also shows my mother in that picture, because my mother went through pure hell with AT&T. And in fact, not just her, but all of her children, most of us anyway, went through pure hell trying to get services straightened out for her. That number one, service she wasn't used. Number two, she was getting two bills, and you know, two bills, because they were supposed to change service, and then changing that service, they instead of canceling the service that she already had, they instead of canceling the service that she already had, they end up sending her two bills, charging her double services. My God, listen. Okay, I'm gonna slow down right there, because I see this right here. My husband had a sale, very difficult deal with them. Transferred to T-Mobile. Move, yeah. They don't speak English very well. That's when you finally get them on the phone. Yes, then when you can finally get them on the phone. My God, my God. So mom was having issues. My brother and my sister, they called me and they was telling me the issues that they was having, because what happened with mom, and at the time mom was 77 years old. This happened last year, December in 2019 rather. So my brother and my sister had dealt with them as much as they can, and they was just tired because they had been going for about 4 months trying to get that issue straightened out. And so they called me up, and I've got in on the picture that I'm going to help try to get the problem solved as well. And if they called me because they were told, they still live in a small town, but they were told that they had to go to one of the stores that they did not have in their area to get this problem worked out. So they called me, and I go to one of the stores in Birmingham, and they tell me they can't handle it in the store. Wow, imagine that. And they give me a phone number to call, and I call that number, and it's still, really didn't get anywhere for real. So the issue was still going on. I gave you the first issue. The first issue was that she was getting two bills. The second problem that she was having, her service had been, when they did whatever they was doing, the service was switched from her local area to another area, because her service was based out of I believe Birmingham, but they switched her to another service that was based out of Montgomery, I believe Montgomery. So therefore, none of the stuff that she was used to watching, she could watch anymore, because they've turned everything around on her. Imagine that was your 77-year-old mom that was happening to. I know a lot of y'all guys, you be ready to fight when it comes to your mama. Yeah, I know it. So then that's kind of what we was in a dog fight, going back and forth with AT&T for about 4, 5, 6 months. We're trying to get this issue straightened out. So here it is. When I get in on the picture, and I started making phone calls, I finally after so many minutes of being transferred here and there, get a live person on the line, and the person promises me that they were going to help me out. I'll make sure that we take care of this, and we're going to get this straightened out for you, blah, 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 blah. By the end of the conversation, they can't get it done. They got to transfer me to somebody else. Wow. So I get transferred to another person, and this person give me the same promise. We're going to get this fixed for you. We're going to get it fixed. We're going to get it fixed. We're going to get it fixed. And I said, listen, I said, that's the same thing the person that transferred me to you said. And guess what? They didn't get it fixed. I'm transferring about 4 or 5 times to different people. And when I finally get off the phone after about 2 hours, the problem still existed. Wow. So I guess you can see, and this has been this right here, what I'm talking about now, been a long time coming. But because when I really started the show, this is one of the things that caused me to start the show in the first place. That's why it was called Greg Talks, and I'm always dealing with my fair view on real issues, and people. This is a real issue. When we start dealing with conglomerate giants who think that they feel that they have the monopoly on things, I need you to understand. We as consumers sometimes have to, the little money that we spend with these conglomerate giants may not mean much to them, but it ought to mean something to us. And so the principle of the matter is, I will spend my little money somewhere else, and for a lesser service to keep pouring my money down the drain with somebody who don't appreciate my money and they're going to treat me like trash and act like I don't exist, especially treat my mama bad and ripping her off. Yes, yeah, having her paying for stuff that she not service that she's not having as well. So again, I'm talking. I want you to talk back to me. Come on, talk back to me. Let me know. Are you an AT&T customer? Have you been an AT&T customer? What kind of problem did you have with AT&T? I already got one that said it was very difficult to deal with, so they transferred services. Anybody else had these issues? So I shared this with you, Augusta Shell, because you say that you are a current customer, you are new, but I'm telling you this: keep your eyes open. Watch this. And those of you who are watching, and you have elderly parents, and make sure, check and see who their service is with. And if their service is with AT&T, I suggest to you that you go and check them out and check out their bills. Make sure that they're not getting overcharged. Make sure that they're not getting charged for stuff that they don't have on their account. Make sure that everything lines up. And if it don't line up, I'm telling you, I'm gonna steal a line from Boost Mobile. Flip the switch. You need to flip the switch and go ahead and change and make sure that your parents are not being cheated. Make sure that they're getting everything that they supposed to be getting. Now, okay, I'm still waiting on you guys. You got any questions? You got any comments? Go ahead and make your questions and make your comments, whatever the case may be. I'm ready to talk to you. Yes, I'm ready to talk to you. If you're on YouTube, you can still make those comments. They will pop up before me as well. You can ask those questions, and they will come up as they will pop up before you as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you, Augusta, since you're new to AT&T, do you have any questions or anything that you might want to ask me about that I may be able to share some light on for you? I want you to, and while I'm waiting for that answer, I want all y'all to do this. Make sure that you understand that giants don't have the monopoly on you. So, we got to make sure that we start developing a David mentality and understand that we can defeat the giant. We are not under anybody's thumb, and we don't have to be under anybody's thumb. Yes. We don't have to settle for stuff that people do, these companies do to us, and we think that there's nowhere else we can turn. There are many other places right now that you can turn to, and sometimes you have to tell them you are not the only horse in the race. I will choose another horse to ride if that's going to be the issue that if we're going to have all these kinds of issues. So I just want to shed that light to you this evening and dealing with conglomerate giants such as AT&T, and should I say especially AT&T, because after the stuff that they put us through in dealing with my mom's situation, yes, we were a bunch of ticked off people. We were not happy with that at all. And so make sure that you're keeping an eye. If you have elderly parents, make sure you are keeping an eye on all of their bills. Yes, all of their bills. Okay, great, because Augusta said, I got my bill yesterday and everything looked right so far. Hope it stays that way. So, that's great. That's great. But I just encourage you, make sure you check that every month when you get it. Don't just get it and do like we do sometimes. Y'all know a lot of times we get our bill, all we do is look at the amount that's due. We don't look at what the charges are. So I encourage you, go back and look at what the charges are. And for real, times have changed now from what they used to be when all of these different charges was on cell phones and whatnot. Realistically, your phone bill ought to be the same thing, or right around the same thing every month. Yes, it ought to be right around the same thing every month. So when you look at that balance and you see something that might look different from what you've been looking at, then you make sure you pay attention to that and check it out and see what it is. And don't be afraid to call and ask questions, even if they don't speak English well, Barbie doll. Even if they don't speak English well, don't be afraid to call and ask questions, because they will present you some problems. Yes, right, Augusta. They will sometimes present you some problems that you don't want to deal with. So now, again, I told you I'm not going to be with you long, but I did want to share that story with you that caused me to want to do this show in the first place. because yeah, as y'all know, when people start messing with our elderly parents, that don't sit well with us. When any time, you know, we want our parents, and when they reach their golden years, to live lives of gold. We want them to be comfortable. We don't want anybody in any form of fashion taking advantage of them in any way. So I definitely I want to share that with you. But again, if you have any questions, you have any issues, or you have had any issues, or you known anybody who having issues with AT&T, hey, go ahead and let us know that, so we can talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know, during that time, when my mom was going through that, I happened to stop by. I had to go to the FedEx office. I don't even remember why I was there, and I really wish at this time I had videoed this guy or took this guy's statement when I was there. I really wish I had taken that, so I could have shared. Share with you. But what I will share with you is what the person that working there said, because I saw a guy there. He had a lot of equipment in his hand that they was boxing up to send back. And I asked him the question. I asked him. I said, would that have to be AT&T? And he said, yes, sir. He shook his head like, oh my God, this has been a nightmare. And he was sending his stuff back. And I kind of laughed at him. I said, bro, I understand, because we've been through that same stuff. I sent my stuff back to them a long time ago. And I made sure that I kept my receipt so that they couldn't say that I didn't send it back to them. Yeah. So they had already cheated me enough, so I wasn't gonna let them cheat me no more. But what happened was the guys, the person behind the counter looked at me and said, if you have no idea how many of these come in on a daily basis that we have to send back. So that I'm like, okay, wow. So it gave me some peace of mind to understand this, that I wasn't the only person having these issues, or my mom wasn't the only person having these issues. So it let me know that this has been is becoming a broad thing, that, you know, it's sad. It's sad that these companies started out with humble beginnings, you know, just like any other company. But then once they reach a certain stage and reach a certain plateau, or reach a certain status quo, then customers don't seem to matter anymore. And on that note, let me share this with you, because I'm a fanatic about customer service. Me and my wife, our family, we are really fanatics about customer service. You know, and today it seemed to me that almost everywhere you go, customer service has gone to hell in a handbasket. You know, I refuse to deal with folk that always give me bad customer service. I just can't do it. Let me say, okay, kids ordered an alarm, charged for equipment that was returned after the department stated that it was not allowed in their units. They guaranteed had accepted before. My God, a lie. Wow. So they was charged for the equipment that they sent back. Is that what you're saying? They were charged for equipment that they sent back? You know, and I promise me, I definitely can't believe that if there was, you know. So we have to look out for stuff like that, man. You know, because they will do that if you don't say anything. If you let it go, they will certainly be charging you for stuff that you don't have. That's why I said I made sure I kept my receipt. When I kept that receipt for at least a year, because I didn't want to see a bill popping up in the mail telling me that I owe for something that I know I already sent back. Yeah, and that has happened before. I remember getting a call from a college once that I went to back in the 80s, and I get a call sometime, I mean, like in the late 90s, in the 2000s, telling them some money. Yeah, if y'all don't get off my phone, my yeah, so we have to be careful, because you know, we look out for scams. Definitely, we need that. We look out for scam. But if you're not careful, there are people that are working at a legitimate company that would also scam you too. So make sure that you keep your eyes open for stuff like that. All right. Any other comments? Any other comments? Any questions? Because not, I'm going to get ready to get out of here, because I'm going to jump on another Zoom call or Zoom meeting that I'm going to be in as well. So, but again, I wanted to share my heart with you about the issues with AT&T. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know, if somebody come along and maybe in one video later and you have comments that you want to make, or you have questions, that you want to deal with as well. Yeah, hey, go ahead and put it out, and I will see that, and I will get back to you. I will answer or make respond to your comment. Okay, still on their credit report. On their credit report. Let me tell you this: if that's on their credit report, they can dispute that. If they know they sent this stuff back, they can get with TransUnion and Equifax and make sure they dispute that, and they can have it removed from their credit report. And I know a lot of people try to teach you and tell you they can fix your credit for so much money, give me X amount of dollars and we can fix your credit. Listen, fix your own credit. You can do it. Fix your own credit. You can do it for free. If you got stuff on your credit report that is wrong, and it should have been off there by now, that the time limit has expired for it to be on your credit, you can make your own dispute to the credit report company as well, and you can get this stuff straightened out on your own. Man, that's a whole nother show right there. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, go ahead and tell them to go ahead and contact Equifax, TransUnion, and I forget the other company. But go ahead and if that's on their credit report, they can dispute that and have it removed from their credit report. Amen. Yes. Okay. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me. I'm gonna get ready to get out of here before I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. But I thank you so much for joining. Okay, Augusta, I'll make sure I tell Miss Rosie you say hello, and yes, and give her a big hug for you too. Yes, God, thank you so much for joining us this evening. So again, if you watch this video later and you have questions and you have comments, go ahead and post them, and we will certainly respond to your posts. All right, thank you again for tuning in to this edition of Greg Talks. I got to move on to another stage. Yes, I got to move on to another stage. But thank you so much for joining me. And I pray and I hope that I said something, about these conglomerate giants that's going to be helpful to you in your future, because they will get you if you let them. Thank you for joining Greg Talk. God bless. You have a good rest of your evening. Amen. All right.
The best when you listen to get the whole truth. The best when you listen to get a fair view. The best when you listen to get the whole truth. The best when you listen to get a fair view. This is Great Talk. This is Great Talk. This is Great Talk. This is Great Talk.
Hey, you have a good evening. Love you. Appreciate you so much. God bless. See you next week. Same time, same place.